Alright, that should be enough. Oh, hi honey. Bet you're curious to know what I'm doing. Well, I just finished filling these barrels with golden glitter, and as you can see, they're attached to our truck. You might be wondering what I'm gonna do with it all. Or maybe it's obvious. Come on, you can figure it out, right? You know me so well. Yes, I'm going to release it all into a tornado. The National Weather Service issued a tornado watch for today, so I'm waiting out here in hopes that I see something. Ideally, I'd like a small and weak tornado to reduce the level of danger that I'm putting myself in. An F1 would be perfect. This might sound crazy, but I need to be able to drive into the tornado. We don't have the Dominator anymore. Sam told me that the rental period expired, and a normal truck can only withstand so much wind. F1s are very common. They're a dime a dozen in Tornado Alley, and given the current conditions, it isn't unreasonable to expect one today. F1s can still move vehicles, but they certainly aren't going to send them flying. This is something that the original Twister movie got wrong. The F1 at the beginning of the movie wasn't actually an F1 at all. Not even close. You saw what that tornado did, right? It violently disintegrated a barn and 2 silos, and it sent a truck flying. An F1 isn't even remotely capable of that. I'd expect that kind of damage from an F4 at least, and that's lowballing. The sequel has a lot more accuracy. It's not completely perfect, but the tornado science makes much more sense. Very astute of you to notice. I want to release glitter into a tornado because that one scene from the sequel inspired me to try something similar. The scene where the storm chasers shoot fireworks up a tornado. This is gonna be so cool. I feel like a mad scientist. I'm gonna create a golden, sparkly tornado. Of course you can join me. In fact, I was afraid that you wouldn't want to. After all, we are going to drive into a tornado without a TIV. Well, here's the thing. Our truck has extra weight on the chassis. The barrels of glitter also have a lot of weight. And we have anchoring down 2 feet. An F1 tornado isn't going to move us. That is true. Our truck isn't armored and thus can't protect against debris. But that's the thing. If a tornado touches down in an empty field, there won't be any debris. Everything needs to be just right for this to work safely. So, I guess I've explained everything. Let's just watch the sky together. It definitely looks like a lone supercell is forming to the west. I can see that there are 2 cells to the east, but that's the problem. They're fighting over the same inflow. They'll choke each other out. This lone cell to the west has the sky all to itself. It's our best bet. Moisture, wind shear, instability. It looks promising. Supercells don't guarantee any tornadoes. Even if the conditions are favorable, it's possible that nothing could happen. Some say that it's a 20% chance, some say it's 30%. The odds aren't terribly low, but we still have to get at least relatively lucky. You know, to this day I'm surprised that the F5 drought is still ongoing. Don't get me wrong, that's obviously a good thing. It's just fascinating. I've mentioned this before, but the last F5 in recorded history happened on May 20th, 2013 in Moore, Oklahoma. It had everything you'd expect from an F5. Monstrous size, violent wind speed, carved a path of terrible destruction in its wake. Yeah, it was definitely an F5, all right. I've seen footage of this tornado online. It's a spectacle to be sure, but many people unfortunately had to suffer for it. F5 ratings are warranted for the atrocities they cause, which is why they're so rare and eventful. We almost never see tornadoes like that. As far as I'm concerned, this drought can last as long as it wants. The longer, the better. Have you noticed that many of the most powerful historical tornadoes happen in May? El Reno was in May, Moore has had multiple F5s in May, Joplin was in May, and so much more. You know how the Elden Ring DLC released recently, right? There's actually a character in it named Moore. It's a neat coincidence. Oh, look! There's a rotation in the clouds. A tornado is definitely trying to form right now. Come on, let's get in the truck. I think she's gonna give us something. Oh my god, look at her. She's perfect. She's gorgeous. What a beauty. We got so lucky. This is exactly the kind of tornado I wanted. The wind speed doesn't look too fast, she's pretty small, and she's in the middle of an empty field so there's no debris. Just a perfectly clean F1 tornado. Nature's masterpiece. Nerves getting to you, honey? Don't go getting cold feet on me now. We're in this to win it. Don't worry, I'm a professional. This isn't my first tornado. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. My team is hanging back a few miles. I got them in on the idea. Said they'd record the whole thing if we got a tornado. And well, we did. Since you and I are going to be inside the funnel, we need an alternate camera angle to capture footage from the outside. Otherwise, this would be pointless. Alright, harness up, honey. We're going in. Alright, first, anchoring, and then barrels. Whew, listen to that wind. She's roaring like a beast. God, I love tornadoes. Alright, you ready, honey? I'll let you do the honors. Just press this button, and it'll open the lids on the barrels. Let that glitter fly. Yeah. Now, quickly, look up through the sunroof. What a sight! A golden spiral. It's a golden-nado. I'm gonna contact my team. Want to know how they're feeling about this. You guys seeing this right now? How's it look? Magnificent. I can't wait to look at the footage. We're getting a great view from inside. I'll meet up with you guys in a bit. The wind is making it hard to hear. Of course this is going to be on the news later. How many people do you think are actually crazy enough to do something like this? I don't know anyone besides us. Well, there she goes. That was so fun. We have got to chase more tornadoes together. Well, aren't you just agreeable? My darling F6 seems to be taking a liking for storm chasing now. It was bound to happen eventually. We'll head home shortly. I just need to speak with the team for a bit. I think the news is about to air our story right now. Yep, here it is. Storm chasers release golden glitter into tornado. Wow, look at it. My team got some amazing footage. It's so sparkly. See, this is why I moved away from the Northeast. The weather there just isn't very interesting. The Midwest always keeps life interesting. And I get to do crazy things like this. With my beloved spouse, no less. There's a song that says there ain't no love in Oklahoma, but there totally is. I have it right here. I know we're all having fun here, but you probably shouldn't actually do this because it'd be really bad for the environment.